One step ahead of everyone else. Wake up with Rich or play catch up all day. This is News Radio WRVA.
8:04 this morning on News Radio WRVA. I'm Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for joining us for the 8 o'clock hour of our radio program. Super Dave in charge. Have you yelled at me this morning, Super Dave?
I don't think I have yet.
I know. It's kind of weird. A little off.
Well, no, you're a little off. You're actually doing your job right.
Oh, is
so
that what it is?
Yeah, so I don't have to yell at you.
People wanted to hear you say this weekend, shut up and talk.
I say that a lot.
Shut up and talk. Shut up and do your job, Herrera. Super Dave, Gary, and again, I'm just floating on air right now after our RVA community cookout. And thanking everybody once again. All right, so we got that to talk about. Coming up, data centers. Everybody has an opinion. I talked to a buddy of mine who's actually, how do I explain him? He works in PR, and he was like, dude, data centers are so underwater right now in public opinion, and people hate them. And we just went on a long conversation about how the public's perception of these are so negative. But I want to peel this back a little bit because there's something bigger going on, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. And we'll talk with somebody today who wrote an article about data centers, and basically, it's been a boon for the Virginia tax revenue, but slowly but surely, we're putting up moratoriums on this thing that is basically paying for a lot of what we get from our government. The tax dollars that roll in, a lot of it's coming from data centers. So we're kind of at a crossroads right now with data centers here in Virginia, yes or no. So we'll talk about that coming up on the program today as well. All right, number for you to join us on the James River Air text line, 833-804-1140, 833-804-1140. With all that we've been talking about this morning, I do have up on Facebook, I'm going to open this up, Facebook.com/News Radio WRVA, Facebook.com/News Radio WRVA. We put up a question of the day. Herrera asks, was the Freedom 250 celebration a success? What do you say? I went to a few of them, thought it was awesome. Did you go? Was it a success, or was it a big much ado about nothing? You can answer it. Facebook.com/News Radio WRVA, or you can join us on the text line 833-804-1140. Let's get to Richmond's morning news brief, shall we? All right, top story of the day. China, guess what? The Darth Vader of finance is coming for you. That's our top story of the day on Richmond's morning news.
Number one.
The U.S. Treasury is expected to detail what's being called the toughest sanctions in history Monday. In response, Iran is vowing to neutralize the economic war with the U.S. It's also threatening to halt oil flow out of the Strait of Hormuz if any neighboring countries join the effort. This, as a new report shows, traffic through the vital waterway is up nearly 400%, but still just 20% of pre-war levels. There are also signs of growing division within the Iranian leadership. Iran's president is defending an interim agreement reached with the U.S. in June, saying Tehran cannot continue with war forever. Pakistan's army chief will visit Iran Monday to try and revive peace talks.
All right, so here's what I explained earlier this morning, 6:30. If you didn't listen to it, we have it up on our podcast. Scott Bessent, the 79th U.S. Treasury Secretary, is now being unleashed. Why is that something the Iranians should pay attention to? By the way, the president of Iran last Friday, when he found out that Scott Bessent was coming for them, said, oh, hold on a second. Maybe we should have a talk. Maybe we should come back and talk. So right now, their disagreement between the IRGC, the mullahs, and the president on what to do next because Scott Bessent. Now, you got to remember who Scott Bessent is. Before he worked for Donald Trump, he worked for Soros Fund Management. He was a chief investment officer. When they were able to collapse the pound, it pulled them out of the Europe's exchange rate system, completely decimated their economy. Later did it with the Japanese yen. This guy knows exactly where all the key points are economically because he's lived in that world. So He knows where the tankers and shipping companies are moving Iranian oil, the banks that are processing the payments, trading companies and front organizations, the refineries and buyers, particularly China. And he is going to go after them, and they're not going to know what hit them. Keep an eye on your crypto because it's going to jump up and down because he is going to lay economic waste and warfare to the Iranians. 3 things the president could do: send more troops in, send more bombers, shoot more missiles, put boots in the ground. Nobody has an appetite for boots in the ground, so he has limited what he could do militarily. He can walk away and let Iran have a nuke. That's not going to happen. The third one is economic warfare. Scott Bessent, the Darth Vader of finance, is coming after Iran, and they should be concerned. Number 2 on our list today, I'm going to follow back up on this because right now you're going to ask for government. The government's going to ask to get in your wallet a little bit more.
Number 2.
All right, I've got income tax, I've got car tax, I got meals tax, I got sales tax, but that's not enough. Virginia, again, this is the General Assembly doing a lousy job of what they're responsible for. One is they're supposed to be the ones who decide whether you're going to have referendums put on your ballot. You have to go to the General Assembly normally and say, hey, we'd like to raise our sales tax. They need to approve it. They've abdicated that in a very cowardly way, in my opinion. And now counties can just kind of go ahead and put this on the ballot to see whether they want to raise sales tax. Richmond's doing it. Chesterfield's doing it. 20 localities are doing it just in the first year. Are we taxed enough? Do we know that these municipalities are being good stewards of our money? Here in Richmond, do you really think there's waste, fraud, abuse, and corruption that's all been kicked out and, there's no wasteful spending? Nobody's wasting your money? I don't think so. I have a hard time saying yes to more sales tax when you don't take care of the money we have right now. How much more do you want to tax us? We'll talk about that coming up this week here on Richmond's Morning News. Number 3, hey, thanks for coming out to see us this weekend and watch me make sandwiches.
Number 3.
So again, I've been talking about all morning. I'm so grateful for everybody that came out to our community cookout. We raised funds. We're going to donate that on behalf of my friends at River City Wranglers to Wreaths Across America. We're going to get the final totals. I'll let you know what it is this week once we add everything up, but just thank you. We've got more coming up. It was a huge success. Let's keep going. Thank you very much, Richmond. All right, story number 4. This goes back to our Facebook.com/newsradio WRVA question. Freedom 250 event, final one, Indy race, was pretty cool to watch on TV. What do you think?
Number 4.
We would love to come back, if I'm being honest, because I think this was the best street course race I've ever been a part of. The event as a whole, 100,000 people here on a raffle, free tickets for everybody. The event was incredible.
It looks so cool as they got up there on the stand with the Capitol behind them. Really cool. I'm going to talk about that coming up at 9:33. Freedom 250, was it successful? Yes or no? We'll talk about that this morning on Richmond's Morning News. And finally, today, there's a bunch of different days today, Super Dave. I don't know if you saw this. It's also, it's Waffle Day. It's Pocket Knife Day. It's Pluto got Job Day. But the one we're going to talk about is Waffle Day because Dave and I have some serious disagreements about that.
Number 5.
Today is a pretty special day.
How so?
How so?
It only comes once a year, every August 24th.
Come on, the suspense is killing me. Suspense is killing me.
One word.
Waffles.
Waffle. 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 Waffle.
Want a waffle?
Waffles speak louder than words.
Waffles are awesome. Pancakes suck, right? The only thing you like was waffles.
I mean, you love waffles.
Happy National Waffle Day, everybody.
Showtime.
Yeah, waffles rule, Super Dave. You and your pancakes.
I'm sorry, but you're wrong again.
How am I wrong?
Actually, I like both. I just prefer pancakes.
Okay, so pancakes were so great. How come Eggo's doesn't make them? Nobody says, let go my pancake. They go, let go my Eggo, which is a waffle.
All those are just frozen waffles.
Okay, why don't they have frozen pancakes if they're so great?
Because they have to be made right. They have to be made fresh.
Oh, now you're just backpedaling on me. Why don't
no,
you just have a crate? Why don't you just have a crate, pal?
No, that's just, I don't even know what that is. That's a French trying to make a burrito. My mom tried to make crepes when we were young, and they never tasted right.
Somebody's got to
What?
stop it. You're making me laugh. Hold on. Somebody's got to explain the difference between a wrap and a burrito.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Isn't a wrap just like, a spinach tortilla, which I don't eat spinach tortillas, but aren't they kind of the same? Is it like a cold burrito?
Well, and you can also make wrap with like lettuce leaf or something, which is
that's
just a whole lot
style.
of wrong.
When I would go to In-N-Out Burger, sometimes I get them protein style instead of a bun. They wrap it in lettuce.
Well, that just defeats the whole purpose of going to In-N-Out.
No, because
when you go to In-N-Out, you have to get animal
three
style
In-N-Out burgers. You need one of them to have a wrap.
No, you have to go there and you do it animal style.
All right, which is better, waffles, pancakes? I say waffles. I say Dave is crazy. It's also National Pluto Demoted Day. Thanks a lot, Neil Tice Grasson. National Knife Day. Do you still carry a pocket knife? Yes. It's St. Bartholomew's Day, the patron saint of cheesemakers. Oh. Then I'll say a prayer for St. Bartholomew. That's kind of cool. That's our Richmond Morning News Brief for today. All right, data centers. What are we really talking about? The data centers. The more research I do, there's something kind of funny going on. We'll discuss that coming up in the next half hour here at Richmond's Morning News. I'm Rich Herrera. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on News Radio WRVA. Go to facebook.com/News Radio WRVA. Was the Freedom 250 events in D.C. to celebrate our semi-quincentennial a success? Facebook.com/News Radio WRVA. Today's program is brought to you by my friends at Pearson Signature